All right, y'all, we're back in the shop today, getting ready to put the transmission back in my boy Kevin's truck. Recently, I've been getting an influx of messages about OBS stuff. I don't regularly do OBS stuff. This is a personal friend of mine. He's in my car club, and I'm really happy he actually hit me up to do the job on this truck, because I actually put the engine in this truck last summer. Well, was it last summer or the summer before? Might have been the previous summer. And that's when I was going through employees at my shop, and I had some clowns working here that just said they knew what they were doing and didn't know what they were doing. And I took on the whole project because they said they knew what they were doing and they didn't, and ended up making me look bad. And, you know, I know Kevin didn't really have a very good experience with this truck, you know, in regards to me and all that stuff, but it's all behind us. So I told him, you know, when he hit me up about the transmission, man, I'm like, man, let's do it. Let me get you straight. So as far as OBS stuff, yes, I did have my Tahoe. I sold it. I'll take an LS swap. I actually have one coming up soon on a 95. I'll be posting some footage of that. But I tend not to take too many things outside the Impalas. Like I said, as you guys know, there aren't a lot of people that only do these Impalas. So I try to kind of stay in my lane. So for now, no. Don't hit me up about any OBS stuff. But we're getting ready to throw this transmission in this thing. It has been a journey. I was supposed to have this transmission back from Randy Thursday. But he said the core was really bad. I mean, the pump was torn up. The drums it was just completely shattered on the inside. So had to get some extra parts, had to take a little bit of time, and then it was taking forever to get the torque converter. That was the main holdup, because I think the transmission was done maybe Monday. Today's Wednesday now, and we're waiting on the torque converter. So we got the torque converter here. It's a minty green torque converter, just a stock 4L60 torque converter. And then we got our freshly rebuilt 4L60 from my boy Randy's Performance Transmissions in Temple, Georgia. They even paying the pump bread for me. It's a sexy unit. Look at that. So I'm getting ready to throw this thing back into this truck so we can get it running. I do still have to do the flywheel. I did pick up a flywheel when I went to Ivan's. Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. But by the time you guys see this video, it'll be like a week ago. So I did pick up a flywheel, but Kevin was like, man, if you're going to go in there and change it, just go ahead and just get me, you know, the right one. So I'm going to pull this flywheel off, run down to the parts store, just so I can match it up, make sure I have the right one and everything like that. And then we'll get this thing tossed in here and kind of go from there. Got our new flywheel, flex plate, whatever. So same thing. And I'll show you the old one. It's pretty bad. Look at this thing. See that? Yeah, she was cracked pretty bad. So that was that knocking noise you were hearing in the video of me and Torian pushing in here. You heard that knocking noise? That's what it is. So another shop told him the engine was blown. So I'll get this flywheel put in, torque it down, put the transmission on the lift, and get this show on the road. I need this truck out of here and out of my face, because I need to move the camo car back onto the lift, put his transmission back in, pretty much get him started. And then I have a car coming that's at the house right now. I need to put in this spot. So we got some things in the works. Right. So got the flex plate here. And usually there's a little thing that says which side is which. This one doesn't have it. So normally somewhere on here, on one of the sides, it'll say engine side. But this one doesn't say it, but just as a rule of thumb, the weight goes on the inside. So it kind of makes it easy. And I can show you on the factory flex plate, it actually says it. On the factory one, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but it says it, engine side right there. But rule of thumb, the weight goes on the inside. Well, facing the engine. So just get this lined up here. Down. This wiring out of the way. Let's see. Should be there. All right, getting ready to torque this thing. Book calls for 65 foot-pounds, so we got our snap-on torque wrench in the star pattern. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Torqued. Let's get this transmission. The big payback. All right. So this is one of the moments where you kind of like, you know, do I really need to be working on cars? Should I, you know, maybe go get a job at Costco or something? So I was plugging along. First of all, the dipstick gave me hell. I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse. I actually threw it across over there somewhere because it pissed me off. But I got that done. Got pretty much everything under here buttoned up. Exhaust is in there. Exhaust is in. Flywheel's in. Torque converter's in. Shift linkage is in. Cross member is, I got to tighten the bolts, but it's sitting on there, and then I got to put a bolt in the mount. All the wiring is in. Heat shield is in, dipstick is in, everything's bolted down nicely. All done. Took forever to find some bolts to fit those studs, but I found them, got them. All the bell housing bolts are in, fuel line retainer clips are in, everything is in. Little clip up there is in. And so I came here and I was like, man, that looks like a hell of a gap between the torque converter and the flywheel. And I'm like, yeah, that looks kind of big, but it should be okay. But I'm like, nah. I was like, but you know what? Let me make sure. It looked like the bolts weren't going to line up in the holes. So I was like, well, let me put the bolts in, line them up with the holes, and then I'll check what the correct distance is supposed to be. And then we may have to put some shims in there. No problem. So as I'm tightening it down to make sure all the bolts line up, bolt snaps in the torque converter. Let's see if I get a shot of that. Right there. Oh, if you can, there we go. Come on, move. I need to get a light for this GoPro, but I don't know if you can see it, but anyway. The head of the bolt snaps off. So that's where we are right now. So there's the rest of the bolt here. So it's a good amount of threads that are in there. So what do we do? This is the moment that separates the men from the boys, from the part replacers, from the technicians, to the mechanics, to the hobbyists. What do we do? Couple options. I'll go over them with you. So one option, we could pull everything apart that we just did, drop the transmission, pull the torque converter out, put a cover on it, take it to the bench, and try to tap the screw out that's bolted in there. Or we can try to do the exact same thing through the hole in the flywheel and hope that it works. I'm gonna try that. What time is it? Because see, when I get projects like this, or I get into predicaments like this, I give myself a time thing. So 6:34. So I tell myself, okay, how long should it take to extract that bolt? In a regular situation, you drill it, you get an easy out, comes right out. But we're working in a very tight space through a very small hole, limited space to get the drill in, limited everything. So I'm gonna give myself an hour. I think that's fair. It's gonna take me an hour. I say no, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. If I can't get the rest of that screw out in 30 minutes, I'm gonna pull the torque converter out. I don't want to do that, but here we are. So all hope is not lost. I had to take a little trip. We got some tools for the trade. So we got a drill. So the plan is to drill through what's left of the bolt. And then we got this extractor. So basically how this works, you see how the threads go? Ooh, somebody out there two-stepping. As you turn it backwards, it goes deeper and deeper into the hole. Eventually it'll snag and pull it out. That's the plan. So let's see. All right, so I think the first thing we're gonna do is put a bolt in one of the holes so it stays still. Let's see, I should be able to get it right here. Ooh, barely. Okay. All right, so that'll stop it from moving. I really need it to come forward a little bit. That way I can, it's like right up against it. There we go. Okay. So we got the drill bit. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of the sauce. All right. There goes nothing. All right. Damn, cords in the way. Gotcha, bitch. So the camera dropped, and I was just like, let me just keep working. But yes, I got it out. Whew. Man, oh man, that was something. That was something. So just drilled a hole and then easy out. Got it out. All right, let's finish plugging along. Well, now I got to find another torque converter bolt, which I know I probably have 1,000 of them in here somewhere. So, but, oh, I'm so happy. All right, y'all. So we got James Brown back together. I got everything together and just started, you know, about to take it for a test drive. And I was like, oh, I got to update my people. So after we got that bolt out, the torque converter, everything else went pretty uneventful until we got to the starter. I guess because the flywheel's different, it didn't really line up the first time, so we had to add some shims, and that was a whole thing. But we got it now dialed, starts perfectly. She makes a little weird noise on startup. I don't know what that is. I think it might be the belt. But as soon as it starts up, it goes away. She rolled forward, so that's progress. It rolled backwards and forward. So we already got progress from what she came in from. So, or he, it's James Brown, from what he came in here for. So I'm going to end the video here. No real point in taking you guys on a test drive. We'll end the video here, and we will, I think the next video I will drop will be installing all that stuff in that 96. Now that we got James Brown out of here, I'll be moving the Camo 94 back onto the lift so that we can get the transmission back in. And I don't think I went over why this transmission's here and not in the car, or you didn't even know there wasn't a transmission in the car, but I'll go over that when we jump back on this project. But that'll be in the midst of us doing the 96. I'll go back and forth so I can get this thing started. My hope is to, by the end of next week, have oil pressure in this thing, and I got everything I need to make it start. I had to order, well, that's not important. I'll see y'all in the next one, man.